starting right now. Here we go.
Come on now.
All right.
Let's go.
What a night.
Let's go.
Night. I'm here. Hahn is here. And look at the squad we got up. The show's at Minnesota this morning. Monica's ready to roll. Windy is ready to roll. The big fella, Kendrick Perkins. But this morning, Ellen, that is the biggest fella of them all. Luka was not playing around. Game 5, Minnesota started immediately.
He said it before. He wanted to set the tone going into this game. He certainly did in that first quarter.
This is all first quarter stuff we're showing you here. Just one after another after another. He dominated like no one we've ever seen.
It is amazing. He barely hit the rim on shots, and he talked to everyone. It started with the Minnesota bench, then he went to individually in the crowd, too.
We're still in the first quarter. This is Luka from downtown. He had 14, and he's talking trash. A minute later, we're still in the first quarter. Luka, 17 and counting. We're still in the first quarter. Mavs have a 9-point lead, and they explode. He would finish with 20 in the first, single-handedly outscoring the Timberwolves, and then it was Kyrie's turn.
Yeah, Luka went to the bench for a break, and then they just tagged out and tagged in Kyrie Irving. And look at this. Oh, that's special with that finish with the right hand.
And that's right over Rudy Gobert, the Defensive Player of the Year. And then here he comes again. Kyrie taking his time. He had 15 in the second quarter. The Mavs up 29 at the brow. Chris Finch.
He needs more than water in that bottle.
he needed a stiff drink. Here comes Luka. Just you tell me how you're supposed to stop this.
You can't. You put a big body on him, he can out-quick you. You put a smaller body on him, he can just out-physical you. And even Snoop Dogg had things to say that you can't say on TV about that.
He's talking trash at Snoop Dogg in the front row. 7 minutes to go in the third. The Mavs lead is 30. Kyrie, it's a 33-point game. They never got close. Kyrie was spectacular. He scored 36. Luka even better. He scored 36. Luka is the Western Conference MVP. He gets the Magic Johnson Trophy.
Oh, shizzle.
All Snoop and company can do is shake their heads. What a performance. Thorough domination after the game. Here's Kyrie with Monica.
We've practiced so hard. We've done the little things all year, and to be rewarded like this feels great. We don't take it for granted. We faced a lot of adversity this year, just trying to figure out lineups, trying to figure out who we're going to become and what our identity was going to be. So I feel like we put one foot in front of the other, day at a time, and we accomplished part of our goal, and it feels great.
Means a lot, man. Means a lot. It's not easy. It was very hard road, very hard, but we are here. Obviously we're not done. We need 4 more, but I think today we all deserve to enjoy this win.
Well, no one deserves it more than he does. Ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing something that has never been done before. Luka Doncic leads the entire postseason, the entire league since the start of the playoffs in points and rebounds and assists. His name is the comprehensive list of all players who've ever done that in NBA history. And so, as we have the entire squad with us from Minnesota, I have to let Alan have the first word. I have to let you take a victory lap. You said yesterday he's the best player in the NBA. What do you say this morning?
He certainly is. I mean, you just saw the numbers there that tell you that no one else has done what he's done. Also, when it comes to totals, he joins Nikola Jokic, Larry Bird, LeBron James. What were those guys each once in their careers? The best player in the league. That's exactly what he is, and that's what I'm talking about. But forget the numbers. And Jay, I know you're watching. I wish you were here because I would do a lap around your chair right now. But seriously, this is what an alpha dog does. This is what he does. He walks into the Lions' den and he goes, this series is over. Close the lights. He was trash-talking their bench. He was trash-talking Snoop. He was trash-talking fans. Ushers also were getting some. Everybody got a slice from Luka in that first quarter. He closed the show when it just started. That's what the number 1 player does. That's what an alpha does. That's what the best player in the league does.
Kendrick Perkins, what do we say about Luka Doncic on the morning after that performance to lead his team to the finals?
He's a bad man. Look, Luka's the type, man. If you put Luka in the cage with 5 lines, you know what you go get? You go get 6 lines. Damn it, he's that bad. And he did exactly what a superstar franchise player supposed to do in that situation. He hit him with a one-hitter quitter in the first quarter. He put the team on his back, and he set the tone early. That's what you do if you're a franchise guy on the road. I will say this, though. Right now, yes, is Luka a top 5 player in the NBA? He is, but he still have to complete the mission of winning the NBA championship before we anoint him of being the best player in the world. If we look at the last 5 championships, right, when Steph completed the mission, we said he was the best player in the world. When Jokic completed the mission, we said he was the best player in the world. When Giannis completed the mission, we said he was the best player in the world. He has to get it done first before he could get that crown of being the best player in the world.
He head-to-head with Tatum, both superstars, obviously, but that's for next week. How about for now? Monica, you were there working the broadcast for us. We saw it there. He took the crowd out of it so quickly and so thoroughly that you could actually hear him on the you could hear the things he was saying to everybody. What was it like being right there?
Greeny, there was an energy here in Minnesota that I think people really thought the Wolves were going to take advantage of being back at home. Like, I talked to a bunch of different people who thought this might finally be the dud in the series, and it was going to be on the part of the Mavericks, and they would go home. Luka eliminated all doubt so quickly, and I think I was watching the Wolves defenders, and there's a shake your head when a game is competitive and a guy is just making shots, and then there's the like, I can't even, what can I do? And I saw that early in the ball game with the Wolves defenders. And so it was just a strong rolling ball that just could not be stopped in terms of momentum. There also was a rumor here. You know, Luka Doncic is a big soccer fan. Real Madrid is playing for the title on Saturday. He had a little extra motivation to be available to watch soccer.
Yeah, that's when you really got it. When you basically say, look, I can't be playing Saturday night. I got a soccer game I need to watch.
In 2012 in Boston Garden, when LeBron came in there down 3-2 and destroyed the Celtics in the first quarter of that game with one of the finest performances of his career, 20-something points, unstoppable shot making in that game. That's what it felt like in Target Center last night, the way Luka came out and completely took the crowd out of the game. We're talking about an elimination home game, just totally eviscerating them. The 4 3-pointer that he hit, the long 3 that forced the timeout, the screams that he had, they weren't ready for it in the arena because there was no music on and you could just hear it, like, crying over a kill that he had just made. And so rarely would I ever say that a game was over in the first quarter, especially a elimination game. This game was over in the first quarter. He scored 20 in the first quarter, and I think most people in that building realized he was going to score whatever it needed last night. 60, he would have got it. That's the kind of performance he had. It was extraordinarily impressive, and he did it on the road. The Mavericks are 7-2 on the road these playoffs, 3 straight series wins without home court advantage. You think they're worried about going into Boston in Game 1? They are not.
So let's put the second full screen up there if we can, because Alan referenced these numbers, but let's show them to everybody here. Because not only did he lead the entire league this year, but we're talking about historic numbers. That's the company he keeps. 4th player in postseason history with 450 points, 150 rebounds, 150 assists in a single year. Clearly, there are more layers of the playoffs now than there were in the 60s and the 70s, so others didn't get a chance. But when you're on a list with Larry Bird, Nikola Jokic, and LeBron James, you've done something special. So if you're not ready to crown him yet, Big Perk, which I respect, he needs to put the crown on his head to get that. How would you describe the performance we've seen from him in these playoffs, just alone, compared to all the greats that we've seen, particularly those we just put up on that graphic?
You know what? It was earlier in this season when J. Kidd, he was on record. I think he went on a Dallas radio show, and he said that Luka is already in the conversation, like for us with guys like Mike, LeBron, and Kobe. And everybody called J. Kidd crazy and called him everything but a child of God. And this moment right here in this postseason showed that J. Kidd wasn't lying. I haven't seen a guy like this in a long time that embraces this type of adversity. He's the ultimate competitor. He loves to go on the road and prove people wrong. And when it comes down to leading with great fashion, he has that old school mentality that former players love, right? That competitive nature. He's not trying to shake your hands. He's not trying to go to the movies with you. He's not trying to take you out to dinner. He's trying to punish you. He wants to make you feel pain when you're going against him. And throughout this stretch, he had some ups, he had some downs. We thought Luka Doncic was doing a hell of a job on him in the Oklahoma City series. All of a sudden, he turned it up a notch. In this series, they tried Jay McDaniels on him. That didn't work. Anthony Edwards, that didn't work. I mean, what he's done in just this conference finals alone has been a beautiful thing to see. And when I say a beautiful thing to see, it's been fun to watch.
I don't know what to compare it to. Like, I can't, Windy, I mean, I watched the game 50 years. I can't think of anyone that he really reminds me of. Most players seem as though they are someone reincarnate. He does it differently. He handles the ball differently. His ability to create shots is different. Of course, the game is different than it was 20, 30, 40 years ago. But, Windy, I can't really categorize him as the next incarnation of anyone. He really is sort of the first of himself, unless there's something I'm not thinking of.
I'm going to tell you who he reminds me of. He reminds me of Lionel Messi. And you may say, what the heck are you talking about? How crazy are you? But if you know how Messi plays, and by the way, he played for Real Madrid, Luka did. He idolizes Messi. He grew up idolizing soccer players. And the way Messi plays is he kind of lumbers around, he walks around, he's not always super active. But then when the ball comes to him, he turns brilliant in the blink of an eye. And that's what Luka does. He doesn't blow you away with his athleticism. Messi's a little guy. He's never going to blow you away with that athleticism. But he blows you away with his skill and his killer mentality. Luka has imitated that. He didn't grow up dreaming of being Michael Jordan. He grew up dreaming of being Lionel Messi. And that's how he approaches basketball games. And it's amazing for us to learn how he does it.
That's a remarkable comparison and one I hadn't thought of. Monica, give us a final word here. We have so much. Again, we got all morning for this. But, Monica, for the moment, just as far as Luka and what we've seen from him in this run, you've been here chronicling all of it. How would you describe it?
A level of poise, Greeny. And I just think the combination, yes, we were talking about Luka. He is at the centerpiece of this. But I think if you got a chance to have a conversation with Luka and Kyrie together, they have been fantastic for one another. I think Luka has gone to a next level this particular season, both as a teammate, as a scorer, all of the stats that we just started this conversation with, but the accountability culture that they have in Dallas, as much as we talk about would it have worked with the two of these guys that need the basketball, that to me is one of the most special parts of this run.